trying to run just as fast as you in terms of, yeah, your defense is prepared, facing it every day in practice, but so is Marshall, I guess, so to speak. Talk about how that two fast-paced offenses might cancel each other out.
Yeah, I think it will balance one another out in terms of, I don't see an advantage either way. You know, we're used to running a fast-paced offense now. It's our second season with it. We've faced our guys in practice, and you know, there's no better conditioning than doing that. So I expect that both teams will be in excellent condition, and that there will be a lot of snaps in the ball game.
How many are you anticipating? You guys want to get to 90 plus. They want to get to 90 plus. Could we really see 180 snaps Saturday night? 100?
Well, you know, if everybody's getting that many snaps, I don't know how much time's on the clock to do that. But you know, both teams will go at a very high pace, and you know, I don't know that it shouldn't be an advantage to one team over the other. I think we're both accustomed to doing it now, and you see it a lot in college football in this day and age. So you're going to be faced with it throughout the season. So you prepare for it early on, and you condition yourself. We learned a valuable lesson against Troy, you know, and in learning that lesson, I think it's helped us on both sides of the ball.
What have you seen from Cato watching this year's game film? You guys kind of caught him last year and got him thinking and got him confused, but what kind of progress has he made as a quarterback for them?
He's very poised, very accurate quarterback. You know, I think his completion percentage is somewhere around 73%, so that means he's getting the ball to his receivers, and they're catching it. And they've got some outstanding receivers. I think their skill positions overall are really, really very good in terms of a passing game and the thrower and the guys catching it and what they can do with the catch in gaining yards after the catch. So it'll be a huge challenge for us. You know, I thought New Mexico State had a very good throwing game. And at times I think that showed, but, you know, we were able to hold them down, I think, in terms of making big plays, and that'll be a key, you know, is to controlling their offense as best we can to not let them have a lot of explosive type of plays, you know, where you're getting the 25, 30, 40-yard plays. You got to keep things underneath you. You got to make sure that they earn everything they get, and then when you're doing that, it just comes down to execution and how everybody's executing on both sides of the ball for both teams.
Keeping the focus on defense, talk about the play of Nate Carpenter. Had the big interception this last game. Played well against Marshall last year. What do you see from him?
He's a great factor guy for you, you know, and as a nickel, you know, he's not on the field 100% of the time, but when he is, he's making plays and he's factoring in, and he's got excellent hands. He's really an all-around type of athlete. If you practice him, he could punt for you. He did kickoffs and field goals for his high school team, and so he's one of those kind of athletes that can be used in so many ways. And you know, he really has they call it a nose for the ball, I guess, and he's got that in terms of being able to diagnose things and really break well on the ball. And when he does, you know, he was a running back also in high school. He has that ability to make the big play after the catch, just like a receiver would make it. And he's a very short tackler, so I think he's a great asset to us defensively.
Do you anticipate a little something extra from the Huntington crowd this week, given how last year's game played out?
I don't know. You know, we just go play ball games, and you know, they get a great following, and you know, we played them in a bowl game, and they had a great following there, and so I'm sure they'll have a great crowd, and they're really loyal to their football team, and they're behind it 100%, and so, you know, you're going to be facing that, but you do face it a fair amount on road games, you know, and sometimes more than others, and this will be one of those times where it's, I'm sure, at a very high level as far as the crowd participation. And, you know, in saying that, we felt great about what our crowd supplied us in this last ball game, and obviously the O-zone was at its best, and when they're at their best, they're tough to beat. So.
With the crowd you faced at Penn State, you think that prepared you well for every road game this season?
Well, yeah, you know, there's always new challenges that pop up for you, but our team has been able to accept those challenges so far, and I presume that we'll be prepared and show up and play well, and I'm sure they're feeling the same way. So, you know, they've been great football games, you know, and they've all been very physical football games, and so we anticipate that will be the case again.
Sticking on the crowd theme, it's not that far from Athens to Huntington. It'd probably be important to you and your ball club to see Ohio's shade of green in Huntington too.
It'd be great, you know, and again, I think we're picking up fans every year, and you know, winning has something to do with that, a lot to do. And I think at every school around the country, and so we're getting great support, and it would be great to see a lot of green.
You guys were able to get some good pressure with the front four. How nice was it to see that, and can that carry over again? You know, looking at Marshall, what they run offensively, it might be tough again to actually get to the quarterback for one of the short plays.
Yeah, it'll be tough, but we hope that we're able to get some hurries in at least, you know. But there are a lot of awfully quick throws in their offensive scheme, and so, you know, you're gonna have to cover well and hope that every now and then you get pressure so that they don't get on a drive and just first down after first down after first down and get themselves in scoring territory, and it'll be a huge challenge for us on the defensive side of it.
But going back to the pressure against New Mexico State, you wanted to, I think last week you said you wanted to see more effort sacks and less, not have everything come up off a scheme. I think you saw that Saturday with some of those guys.
Yeah, we did. You know, there were a couple scheme sacks, but there was a lot of great individual efforts without blitzing that caused hurries and caused sacks, and so we need to continue that theme throughout the course of the year, and it'll be extremely important in this ball game because of their ability to throw the ball so well.
Any other questions for Coach?
Do you guys feel like you could control the pace of a game with your offensive line and how well they've played these first 2 weeks? Is that you know, a lot of teams want to go fast, but it seems to me that you guys would have the ability to slow it down and grind out games more if you wanted to, given the strength you have up front.
Yeah, what we'll be able to do obviously remains to be seen, but I've been real pleased with our lines, both on the offensive and defensive side of it, these first 2 ball games. And, you know, we played good football teams. Penn State was a good football team, and, you know, their loss against Virginia, you know, the 1-point loss, they should have won the game, actually. And I don't say that very often, but they should have won it. And so Virginia was, you know, expecting an excellent year. Came off of a pretty good year. So I think Penn State is a very good physical football team. I thought going in, New Mexico State was a very good football team. I thought they ran the ball a little better on us early in the game than what I had anticipated. Our guys adjusted very well and shut that down a little more in the second half. So we played, I think, 2 very good football teams, and you know, that's good preparation, obviously, for a game like this because we're playing a third straight very, very good football team.
Coach, will you be looking to make any adjustments on special teams? Obviously, the 91-yard kick return on Saturday, not what you were looking for.
Yeah, we covered 11 kickoffs. Sometime, you know, that's a lot of kickoffs to cover, and I'm not making an excuse for them. We had missed tackles on that, but that's all attitude and energy. And if you are lacking in the energy and the attitude, then something like that can happen to you. Okay, I think it was a valuable lesson for us to learn. I don't like learning lessons that way, but it was a valuable lesson for us, and hopefully we've got that corrected leading up to that. Our kickoff coverage has been excellent, so I presume that, you know, we'll get back to being the kind of kickoff coverage team that we've been. Our other special teams units need to improve, and that's across the board. You know, we had 10 penalties in the game, 5 of them were from special teams. That's got to get corrected.
Field goal block, Frank, was that it looked like the guy got there awful early. I know the hold was slow, but it looked like he got there
Yeah.
plenty of time to stand in front of the kick.
Our snap to kick was a good time. You're normally going to get your kickoff in that amount of time. We had no chance of blocking him. So when you don't have a chance to block a guy, then you're vulnerable to a block. So that's all I'm going to say there.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Okay.